Hey everyone, I'm the Canadian lad and I have watched Avengers Endgame God knows how many times. But recently I watched Endgame in 0.25x speed. And I have to say, I noticed some details that are kind of not easy to pay attention to while watching the movie in regular speed. So I have made a list of things that I noticed which you may have missed, and this video is all about that. So let's begin. Number 1. Tony Stark figures out his time-traveling model after he draws mild inspiration from a photo of him and Peter in which they're holding an inverted diploma. They're being very goofy, holding the certificate upside down, but there's more to it than that. Tony gets an idea. He goes to his workstation and asks Friday to try a model of a time machine using the shape of a Mobius strip.
Time in the shape of a Mobius strip, inverted, please.
Processing.
If you're like me, you just dismissed the term as some sciencey jargon and kept on watching the movie. But do you know what a Mobius strip is? According to Google, a Mobius strip is a surface with one continuous side formed by joining the ends of a rectangular strip after twisting one end through 180 degrees. Now 180 degrees is to turn a 2D object upside down, kinda like the picture. Upside down certificate equals 180 degree turn equals the Mobius strip. It wasn't just Tony getting inspiration from seeing Peter. The picture actually gave him the idea for unlocking time travel. Number 2. When testing out the time machine, Hulk has to use a pencil to flip switches because his fingers are too big. Now this is some great attention to detail, because even if Professor Hulk used his fingers to navigate through the switches, we would still not complain. But because Marvel don't want to disappoint the fans, they put this tiny little detail so that the fans who pay attention can see it. Number 3. When Thanos attacks the Avengers compound for the first time after Hulk snapped, AntMan quickly shrinks himself down in order to save himself from the blast. His quick survival instinct is what kept him alive in that situation. With slow motion, you can clearly see AntMan shrinking down and become smaller and smaller as the blast gets bigger and bigger. This bit is quite impossible to notice if you don't slow your playback while watching the movie. Number 4. During the final battle with Thanos before help arrives, Thor goes straight for Thanos' head, just as he was advised in Avengers Infinity War. And quite frankly, he managed to kill Thanos by going for the head in Endgame itself. So again in the final battle, he attempts to go for the head one last time. Number 5. During the final battle, Thanos grabs Captain America's wrist because he isn't worthy of lifting the Mjolnir. And when Thanos does this, he actually stops Captain America from using the Mjolnir. Number 6. The Wasp emerges in a shrunken form from a significantly smaller portal than the others, expanding to normal size once she's through it. Out of all my viewings of Endgame, I never noticed it until I slowed the speed down to the minimum and then realized there's a tiny little portal just behind the Wasp. Number 7. When the Avengers charge during the final battle, Spider-Man swings from Giant Man's hand. Now this was a great deal of meme material because Spidey was flying with nothing to sling his web to. Even I was wondering how was he flying without anything to attach his web to, but after seeing it in slow motion, I got my answer. Number 8. Thanos does not spin Thanos' copter by its handle. He holds the handle still and the blade rotates around the handle, so it doesn't go against everything in physics if you see it in slow motion. Number 9. Pepper fires at nothing. Okay, moving on. Number 10. Now you don't need slow motion to understand this point, but I'm gonna say it anyway. The reason why the Avengers lost in Infinity War is the exact same reason why Thanos lost in Endgame. Let me explain. Thanos had been planning this for a long time. He knew about the Avengers since 2012, but learned about other important pieces along the way, all while the Avengers were preoccupied with rogue AI and civil wars. The Avengers were caught off guard and unprepared by an enemy who knew them well. They mustered a last-minute defense and were streamrolled, hence the snap. And just to cement their lack of knowledge, when Thanos snaps his fingers, Thor is confused and asks, "What did you do?" No one knows what just happened until the snap takes effect. They lost. Now cut to Endgame. This Thanos is of course much younger but also from 2014. Why is that so important? Because in 2014 there was no Ultron, no Vision, no Scarlet Witch, no Doctor Strange, no Ant-Man and the Wasp, no Spider-Man, and many other absentees. The pieces aren't in place yet, and in his haste, Thanos jumps forward a whole 9 years into the future to face a battered enemy, one who has already fought him and knows what's at stake, one that knows they cannot fail again. And this time it's Thanos who assembled a hasty effort to stop an enemy he knew nothing about. Everyone present knows that the fate of the universe rests upon their shoulders. Not that they weren't giving their all before, but this time they will give more. My favorite line in the film hints at this table turn. Wanda says, "You took everything from me." Thanos replies, "I don't even know who you are." Wanda then says, "You will." So yeah, in short, the Avengers in Infinity War were unprepared and going up against someone who knew them well and had planned carefully. And in Endgame, Thanos went unprepared against a foe who knew him well and was prepared. In the words of George Lucas, it's like poetry, so that they rhyme. Now if you like this video, please give a thumbs up and grab the subscribe button and turn your notifications on. I really appreciate your support and contribution to help grow this channel bigger. I'll see you lads in the next one.